You there?
I'm back.
So Pradeep is a business analyst for them, and he's been for 5 years. So I would think it's worth bringing up that name.
Business analyst for 5 years. Yeah, I would think that they would be connected to
Assuming,
the data architecture guys in some capacity.
no problem. Yeah. Other than, like I said, it is scary because he's fucking weird, but I'm sure they love him. So. I'm not sure if I should show this website temporary down. I mean, it seems like a bit of a, I don't know.
It's kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah, I don't think that's good to show.
It's almost insulting.
Yeah, I don't think it's good to show. I'm not gonna.
Or maybe if you said it in passing, kind of if you brought it up as a, not that we focus on error management by any means, but to detect that sort of shit.
Yeah, I mean, my only thought here would be if I went to Let's Go to Your Site and said, oh, you know, and she'll probably think it's our fault. So.
Right.
All these nightmares, people. I'm actually struck. To be honest, I don't think this is going to be a really close fit with the web analytics directly. I'm going to try to go a lot more broad in this, particularly bringing it up initially.
Somewhat like a...
What we do is we provide complete analytics into what happens, show 5 seconds of video playing. We also, and then show the competitive intelligence chart. Which one of those would be of more interest to your company, or do you have both kind of thing? You know, without digging into the dashboard. That's my thought, at least.
It's hard to say because you don't know how directly tied he would be to the analytics people. They're data-driven. He's obviously a data architect, so maybe, you know, they're in constant communication, but it's difficult to say.
Hey, Oopgo Discover isn't working. Does that link change or just a random thing?
Was it working yesterday?
Yep. Last night it was working fine.
I haven't talked to it on today.
Okay.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah, James, you there?
Hi, Ned.
Hello? Hello? James?
Yeah, James, I don't think he is here. Anyway, make sure to take over, and this, did you look him up?
He said,
Not only the State Street, the guy is the vice president, and he's into IT and architecture information.
He's the vice president of IT.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention Pradeep. Pradeep's worked there 5 years. She's worked. So what are the chances that she hates Pradeep and says, oh my God, that's the worst person ever? What do you think?
Yes. No, that's okay. Don't mention Pradeep, but all that I'm saying, is she a woman? You are saying
she's female.
Is she a woman?
Good thing I looked that up. Well, my guess is Jagadaswara.
Yeah. Nagalamadaka. So whatever.
I'm going to try to wait for her to talk. So.
Yeah, just waiting for her to talk, and
I don't think this might be a good fit. I think that she might be much more broadly targeted. She works within the Office of Architecture, which means that she might not even have any role with their actual web. These are assumptions.
Maybe,
I'm going to keep it a lot more top level. I don't think she'll want to dig, but we'll see. If she does, obviously that's...
Well, see, I mean, but don't underestimate, you know. I don't want it to happen where she starts asking or, you know, asking questions, etc. that need you, because this is a huge, obviously, revenue over $5 billion.
Their profit doubled. Their profit doubled the last year. That's what the research intern told us. So.
Yep.
We're just not sure. Their site's actually broken, the first link you go to it. But I think that's meaner if I show them that they're, you know, basically that they're Mujtabeen. It's their main site, when you go to the link, it's broken. So I think, yeah, I'm avoiding that topic, but I wish I could tell them.
I'm going to use this.
Yeah, don't wait for me. Good.
Yeah, because she's Bennett, it's better to have Carlos say hi. We'll see. I don't know.
I mean, you never know. Maybe Pradeep
is sitting there.
He's applying those skills that he learned from the TV program. Who knows?
We'll see.
Because you don't know what they think about.
So how come James shows, but it doesn't? He's not
He
here,
Skyped me and asked me, and I told him that you called me after and told me I'm taking this one instead because we know
Okay.
so whatever. So
All right. But why does it show his name? Because
I mean,
he's assigned to it?
probably still logged in. So
Okay.
I just dismissed him just because I don't see a use of showing extra names if they're not gonna. So. But to be honest, you guys didn't show the mobile example as the #1 link to show. So the fact that that wasn't shown on the last person, that doesn't make any sense. So.
No, I know that. Lots of things, again, don't get shown, you know, because the presentation, the way it goes, even though he has them open, but he doesn't. This is why, you know, I think, you know, it's very important to always be keen and ready for everything to fit the situation here.
Justin, did you make this mobile example bigger?
No, same size. I just added a phone behind the background.
Okay, why does it look more massive? Yeah, my Zoom isn't on, but it's not a negative. I'm just curious.
Do you want me to make anything yet? Do you want anything?
I have an 11 after, which means I probably won't be able to talk to the interns for a while because we have.
I thought Nate was going to manage the interns.
I mean, you know what the answer to that. I mean, there's things of value. He's managing, but we need to chime in and use. So.
Well, let's hope she shows up or he shows up, whatever.
Our rate's been probably about, I'd say, 85, 90%.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, this is Sanjay here.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. Who's there in the call? I'm just trying to connect it to GoToMeeting.
No problem. This is Patrick and Justin, and we're trying to, we set up the meeting with, I believe, Jagadiswara. Hello?
Yeah, you are breaking up.
Okay, I don't know who we're speaking to. I have on my list the Jagadiswara. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly.
Yeah, this is Jagadishwara.
Oh,
yeah,
it is.
This is Jagadishwara here.
Okay, no problem. Was I close on the pronunciation?
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you. Are we waiting for anyone else on your end?
No. No, I thought like, I mean, we'll just first touch base with you. So there's somebody who requested me, so I thought, okay, I can spend some half an hour, try to know what's your product and then things like that. So you already worked with SSGA?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Yeah, you already work with SSGA?
No, I don't work with them. This is our first point of contact at your company.
Oh, okay, because I can see your screen, it says SSGA,
Yeah, no, I opened it up. This is your company, correct? This is your main domain, or is your main domain StateStreet.com?
No, State Street is main domain.
SSGA is a separate entity?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no, we just had opened up there. So to get a bit more focus here, so yeah, my name is Patrick. I have Justin with me, a deeper technical analyst. I wanted to first know if you could tell me a bit about your company and I suppose what your goals are on the digital end, what you guys are trying to achieve, and your direct role.
Yeah, I mean, if you know about State Street, correct? State Street is basically we go through a lot of back-end activities for the Wall Street. We are basically a transaction management company. We have a lot of fund accounts we manage for different clients. So keeping said, that's a business, but we do work with the latest technologies. So I'm in the part of architecture team for the future direction of the company. We work in basically a Java shop, and we work in a private cloud, which is we have almost like 1,200 different VMs which are running in our cloud environment with the different applications. So all the different applications, some of them are internal to the State Street, some are external clients, applications which are exposed through cloud technologies. So being said that, I mean, we do have .NET programs in the company, and then we have all sort of different technologies, and then most of our data is there in the mainframes. So we do have a connectivity between the mainframe and the Java.
Okay, but do you know what familiarity with what you guys are using on a website, analytics, or intelligence in particular? Are you familiar with which software you're using on the web end?
Yeah, let me see what's your company's, because I didn't even look at that. So that's.
Yeah, of course I'm going to introduce us. I just wanted to get what we are. Do you guys happen to use Omniture, Google Analytics, IBM Core Metrics? Those are the main technologies that I'm asking about referencing in advance. If you have familiarity with any of those?
No, can you just repeat that? I mean, we use the GWT, basically Google Web Toolkit, for the web technologies, and then we do have a JSPs, and then we do have a struts, we do have the .NET UI, and then Flash. So those are like most of our web technologies, which covers almost like 90%.
Okay, great. Now that was a great introduction. So on our end, I'll let you know we're a digital marketing intelligence company, and we have two primary technologies which we're going to be introducing in about a 10 to 15 minute capability overview. One of them is a deeper website analytics tool. It's the first product that gives complete intelligence of what's happening on your website. The second one is a competitive intelligence tool, which essentially gives you access to the largest website index in existence and allows your company to understand what your competitors are doing and industry-wide trends about common technologies used. Those are the two general introductions, so I'm going to spend about 5 minutes on each one showing you, and at that point we can conclude and discuss potential applications and added value to your company.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry your main domain actually isn't loading up. There's a short-term error, so I'm going to be using this one in this example. So the big differentiator between us and you said you use Google's tools is Google and the other mainstream technologies out there. If I have a customer on a specific page, and let's say I move around, I enter in information on the page, and then I click on a separate link. A data record is only being created during the transition from page to page. So basically companies are in the dark of the movement, what's happening on the keystrokes before submit, and all of the deeper on-page data. So what we're doing is we're creating a complete data record where if I move for half a second on top of what we deliver, if I give you information in a form, all of this is being stored as a separate data record. So you would be able to, for instance, query how fast is the typing speed, who abandoned my site that didn't finish logging into their website, and just complete deeper analysis into what's happening. That's what our differentiator is from the data perspective. We're storing approximately 1,000 times as much data per session than Google or traditional analytics.
Your voice is actually breaking. I can hear you clearly for some time, and then it's not clear for some time. You know,
Okay.
If you can louder, that will be great. Thank
you. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I don't know, did my explanation, the long story short of the explanation is we're storing every mouse movement, every keystroke, all the on-page behavioral data, and this is all stored in a complete record with the traditional transition from page to page. So the other end of this coin is, in addition to the added data value, we're also able to recreate all of your website visitors' entire user experience from the exact resolution and the exact devices as they occurred. So this example here would be the view of a record of what a customer is doing on your website. I mentioned the data first because everything you see on the screen, all of the data is directly integrated to be playable. So if you're looking through data, for instance, what's happened this month, what were the pain points on my website, you can click individually and play out each session. You can search within each session and understand how many people are having this password error, how many people have been to my site and have had any site of struggle. And this is all flexible to be watched as it happens, such as this example, and also to be used within your data itself. Is this clear what this is representing on this end?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to show you one more example here just because most companies right now, one of the struggles. This is an example of how deep we're going into mobile in specific. Because most companies right now, we're all in discovery mode when it comes down to understanding how to deliver our business, to mobile users and monetize it appropriately. So what you're going to be seeing on the screen is this is proprietary technology on our end. When you use multiple fingers on your cell phone, for instance, to navigate your website, the orange and the blue you're going to see on the screen would be each finger movement if they were engaging with your website. And these are all stored as data points, of course, like everything else. So. So the main point of that particular view of the demonstration is, of course, mobile is different than a traditional desktop computer. We do factor in the orientations and the deeper movement and engagement. And we are when it comes down to the touch points on your mobile phone, that is, once again, proprietary technology where we're able to detect the direct engagement of fingers on a phone, both on a micro and macro basis.
So somebody needs to install your software on their mobile to do that?
No. This is all installed on your end. If you attach one line of JavaScript to your website and I visit your website right after, you're going to have my complete recreation of my user visit.
No, but it's a part of the application which you are trying to deploy, correct? It's the one which you are showing is a New Year 2012. I'm not sure if it's any application names are here, but it's a part of one of the application. You're showing all these icons.
I'm sorry, Justin, are you on to answer that more clearly?
Hi there. Yeah, this is Justin. It is the same. It's deployed within the same application as the previous screen that he showed you. It's not something that the end user would have to install on their mobile device.
Okay, so all the icons like a product portfolio, everything belongs to one application.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Everything I'm going to be showing you is all integrated into one application. So that's why we brought up the data first. So, okay. What I'm showing you here, this is very quick introduction, is this is also proprietary technology. This is the ability to watch and engage with your website traffic live. So in this example, if you had 5 current users engaged on your website, you would be able to see what they're doing. You would be able to tag them, and these colors represent any custom tagging. If your company wanted to tag customers who came from Canada who've made 5 purchases in the past, you can define this business rule and integrate it from all of our modules. The other relevant point here is, of course, if you probably have more than 5 concurrent visitors on your website, this can be applied to any segment of traffic. So if you wanted to watch, for instance, 5 particular clients, 5 people on a particular page, you can apply this live macro viewing from any different module. So we also have a built-in capability to focus deeper on an individual client or session, and the ability to chat directly with the client or engage them in a way such as applying a business rule that says, I want this script to deploy only for this particular client. Click the button and you can have that deploy on the spot. So it's the main demonstration here is having control over live traffic and insight into usability and user experience.
Can you just repeat the last part you said? If the one you said is like deploy the script based on some business rule?
Yes.
So is that client will be notified for each update, or how you are going to deploy it automatically?
So it's all built into the system. It's built in within the one. If you, our entire system, what would happen is you would define a segment of traffic, such as if you said clients from Canada who visited twice. You would create that segment within your system. Once you create it, you would attach a deployment to it, and it would happen directly from our source code. It wouldn't take anything additional. So this is all built in. These aren't separate applications.
No, where do I create the segments? Is it part of your UI, or no? Give me some basic insights of how does the architecture is basically there for. Okay, I can see some digital mod for your UI.
Okay. Yeah, that's like I said, I kind of show usually the micro view before we go into, the common sense applicable views. So in this question you referenced, all of our technology is usually customized for the KPIs for your company, because we're storing 1,000 times the data. We don't just want to throw thousands of different demographics and indicators. So the way we rectify this here is if you want to define a high value customer and attach a color. From there you can associate the tag with any movement based on your website. Any action based on your website, in this case, to keep it very simple, number of times visited the website. You create this tag. You can create a score associated with the value for each of these high-value customers. So if this customer visits 5 times, you can say every time he visits, I want to add 10 to his lifetime value. This is all within our segmentation system. From here, you would have all of your different segments, and our module to deploy the scripting is directly synced with each of these, where you would select each individual tag and say, I want this script associated with this color. Does that make sense?
Okay, so the script can contain JavaScript, or what is that script is actually doing? What type of script is that?
The script can be, Justin, do you want to answer that? I don't know our deeper from our scripting module.
Yeah, the script is primarily composed of JavaScript, similar to, I'm sure, what you're using with the Google toolkit. So it'd be a JavaScript-based tag that you would apply to your website pages or mobile website pages before the closing body tag. And that just sends packets of information back to our application and servers, where we handle the data manipulation and the data extrapolation.
Okay, when the script loads, they need to refresh the page, or how does client will know?
When the script loads what? I'm sorry?
No, do we need to inform the clients to refresh his pages, or how does it going to load the script?
No, we have a no caching mechanism built into the application, so every time your page loads, it will automatically reload the freshest version of our script and refresh all the user information.
No cache for each page, or
for each user.
Yeah, for some of the the cookies and then some of the parameters what we actually store it in the cache. So how do you handle that?
Whatever is loaded on your web page, even if a element from your website is loaded from cache, as long as that is included in your page source, we will reflect all those elements loaded from the cache, regardless. So whatever the end user sees on your website is what is going to be reflected when we replay the video for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But
great.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course we can take a much deeper technical dig. Usually this is, an introduction. Of course,
Yeah.
we have half-hour segments. So the other big detail here to show practical use is, like we mentioned, this is an advanced intelligence tool. We have quite a few modules of slicing, dicing, manipulating your data. From every module you see, if you wanted to look into any particular segment, in this example, if we wanted to look at traffic that came directly from Google, we have this deployed in a session-by-session view with all of the KPIs that your company defines that you basically care about per user. You can click and play each individual session by directly from that view. And I'm going to open up the deeper view in a pre-existing example. It's a bit clearer. One moment, please. So you can play it directly from this view, or you can click View Details, trying to pick an example that might have some basis to it. So we click View Details on any of these individual sessions. So we're already taking a look at this client from a session-by-session view. What this displays here is what we call the entire customer experience from one page. This is not a high value, this is not a great example, so I'm going to show you what I had on default. So this example here would be you have a customer who's visited 84 times in the past. You have all of their past session history directly linked from one view. This is their pages within a session, a panoramic view.
Yeah, I lost his. I can't
sorry?
hear anything.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can't listen anything. Sorry.
You can't listen. Justin, can you
Sorry,
go
I
ahead,
can't
Chuck?
listen anything.
I can hear you. You can't. You talk, guys. You can't hear me. You talk. Can you still not hear me? Hello.
Yeah, now it is clear. The previous sentence was totally wrong.
Okay. Okay. What this? Please let me know if you can't hear. I can have Justin take over. So what this is if it was clear from the what we're displaying here is a deeper dig on any individual session into that customer's past history and association with your website. This view here is the individual page with their session, each page within this individual session linked. On top, we have each of their past sessions, so you can switch back and forth and understand the details of any past visit from any individual customer. And this by default is defined by IP address, but we can also seamlessly switch the parameter of anonymous customer to use cookie. Or, of course, if you have information on customers already with some kind of logging system in place, this could show your client's information. We could integrate that directly on your end. So you would be able to differentiate information from current clients as well as high-value anonymous visits, such as that almost completed an action a few times. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You can hear?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
So this is, aside from this, one extra note, because we are running out of time on this, is we have a lot, aside from this, I mentioned the data a lot of times in the beginning, because everything you see here, we have different views to strategically integrate what's happening on your site. It can all be customized seamlessly because we're creating everything with one unified data source of your entire website history. So if you want to define a timeout differently internally, if you want to define what a bounce rate is, such as you don't want to say visitors who left 10 times, all of this is easily customizable on our end internally. We have a lot of different reporting dashboards and ways to make macro usage of these kind of capabilities as well, aside from just the micro level.
Okay.
So aside from this, do you know internally, are you familiar with, do you guys use heat maps internally for any usability discovery on your end?
No, I mean, we don't use, as far as the usability is concerned, all our websites, most of them are, especially in my group, we don't use it, but there can be others who will be using it.
Yeah, I was.
We just, you know, I mean, we just do performances, you know, I mean, statistics on all of our websites. That we do it, but not in the detailing like this.
Okay. Yeah, I had mentioned that example just to say in those, for heat maps, any other module you use, it's all synced to videos as well. So if you want to understand, you know, why someone performed an action that's someone that might be an outlier from what's expected, you can watch individually in each case. So aside from that, the next module I'm going to show us that is integrated into our analytics is our digital competitive intelligence. So what this is our company the last 6 years has been building an index that encompasses every domain on the internet. Our big differentiator from a Google, for example, is it's estimated Google only has 1/5 of every website actively indexed. And the reason for that being, of course, is the liability is on each business to get Google's attention. And so what we have is we have approximately 180 million websites within one data source that allow us to generate custom queries and algorithms to allow companies to monitor their competition and get direct insight into their industry. So I'm just going to give one example here before usually to understand if you have any follow-ups from there. So this example would be if you had chose 3 competitor websites that your company is interested in deeper insight into, we would be tracking their traffic rank every month, and you would be able to see, for instance, if one of your competitors had a 40% spike, you would be able to see all of the changes that were correlated over the last month from their source code. So for instance, if your competitor had 40% increased traffic and 50 million Facebook likes that month, you would probably know there's a direct correlation with a campaign. All of this is detectable, whatever, you know, the same way traditional indexes work, anything that can be viewed from the public source code on a site. We just organize these into a lot of actionable clusters to understand changes in sales headlines, analytics technology, things along those sources. The bottom left here, an example as well, because we have an index of every website, is we allow you to define your industry on a more macro basis. So if you wanted to say, for instance, every website that uses the term state in it and has the word financial within its source code, we're going to define that as a competitor or a relevant website. We would be able to monitor if that number was 50,000, 100,000, doesn't matter. We would be able to grab insights such as what are the technologies that were changed over the last month from all of these, what's the average page load speed, and the long story short here is just insight into the internet to use for your own company's custom needs. And this here was just an example module of if you want to add in any website usability-wise on our end, we would just be able to add them directly into our module for a comparison. I know we have just a couple minutes left. Are you on a pretty hard for half an hour? Could you be able to go over 10 minutes,
Yeah.
Jog, or are you?
Yeah, I'm on almost like a hard stop, but
Okay.
probably like we can go like a 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I'm like just yeah, I mean just interested in how do you store the data, correct? And then this is like a huge data will be coming in. So what is that technology you use, like Teradata? I mean, where is that is actually stored?
So this, are you referring to the competitive intelligence or the web analytics? Because they have 2 different storage mechanisms. The websites, all the different websites?
Yeah, both of them. Probably like you can give me a background on each one.
Okay, Justin. Well, I'll tell you first off. For the competitive intelligence, this is a database that we we have access to it wouldn't give you, your company wouldn't have to deal with any unique storage because we just have, we have all of the information on our end to be able to manipulate and give your company access to query. So I suppose that wouldn't be any issue on your end internally because we wouldn't be providing access access to the source of the database. Justin, can you answer those questions a bit more detailed?
Yeah, it's in terms of the data architecture, we refined and developed these storage mechanisms for a very long time in-house. We can't exactly list out what technologies we're using to date. Because of all the data we do host internally for our clients, especially with the domain database. Some clients do choose to host internally, and in that case we would make sure that the technologies we use are congruent with what the client uses. But outside of that, it's very efficient and optimized database structure.
So it's all just in the database, or is it like a Hadoop big data or something like that?
It's all in a single database, correct?
Oh, okay.
So at this point, Jog, I know we have a hard stop in a couple minutes. The first question we'd always ask is there relevance to have do you have interest in digging further and perhaps scheduling either a follow-up or someone else internally within your company to get a deeper dig into capabilities if you find them relevant?
If you guys can provide me like some sort of links, what you guys want me to look at it first, then probably like that makes sense for me because I get some picture of like what is that your main core, as a company wise, what is the key, data you're collecting for each website, but I didn't go through the website and then I didn't. So if you want me to look at something, that will help me to decide further.
Okay, and on that note, would you have interest on both? Would you like paperwork both on the competitive intelligence and the analytics, or is there one in particular which you have more interest in, based off?
Yeah, I mean probably like both of them. So just to know what you guys do. So
Okay. Well, no problem. Yeah, we can definitely get that out to you in a few short docs. And if you want to dig any deeper, please feel free to reach out to us directly. I'll include contact information. And I enjoyed speaking to you, Jog, and hopefully we'll speak soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your intro. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much. Good day.